All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive shift happening on Wall Street, and it's all being driven by a powerful new kind of AI, one that's not just changing how people work, but could actually change the very nature of the entire industry. I mean, just listen to this quote. You're 3 coffees deep, it's 3 a.m. I think anyone in finance, or really any high-pressure job, can feel this one. It's that world of intense pressure, mountains of data, and always racing against the clock. The all-nighter. It's practically a rite of passage. But here's the big question. What if that's all about to change? So, what's the root of the problem? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. The sheer amount of financial data, how fast it comes at you, and just how tangled and complex it is, it's just become too much for the human brain to handle. We've hit a wall, a breaking point. And look, it doesn't matter how brilliant an analyst is or how dedicated their team is, trying to sift through all of that noise to find the one critical piece of information, the signal, using just human brain power, it's become basically an impossible task. And that reality is exactly what set the stage for a totally new kind of solution. Okay, so if human intelligence has hit its absolute limit, what's next? The industry needed a new kind of partner. And this is where a company called Anthropic comes into the picture. They're an AI research and safety company, and they've built a tool specifically designed to tackle this immense challenge. Now, the key word here is collaborator. This is really important. We're not just talking about another app or a new piece of software. It's being framed as an intelligent partner, something that actually understands the nuance and complexity of financial analysis. It's designed to work with human experts to augment their skills, not just to automate a few tasks. And in an industry like finance, where the stakes are incredibly high and everything is regulated, trust is everything, right? So this AI had to be built on a rock-solid foundation of safety. The principles are simple. Be helpful, harmless, and honest. It's got top-tier, enterprise-grade security. It's even got that SOC 2 Type 2 certification, which is a huge deal. But maybe the most crucial promise of all, your proprietary data is never, ever used to train their models. For these firms, that's a total non-starter. But let's be real. A tool like this, no matter how smart, is pretty useless if it's stuck in a vacuum. Its real power comes from plugging into the system, getting deeply integrated with all the tools and data sources that financial pros already rely on every single day. This is what they call a unified intelligence layer. It sounds fancy, but what it means is pretty straightforward. The AI can securely connect to a firm's own internal documents on platforms like Box or Snowflake, and at the same time, pull in trusted market data from sources like S&P Global and FactSet. So you're combining private information with public information, which gives the AI the context it needs to provide relevant, actionable insights. It's like having an entire ecosystem of information right at your fingertips. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's make it concrete. We're going to follow an analyst, we'll just call her Sarah, and watch how this technology transforms a frantic scramble for answers into a focused strategic analysis. So picture this. Sarah's boss bursts in, totally stressed. A stock just reported terrible earnings, but it's soaring up 17%. It makes no sense. He needs to know why, like now, before the market closes. The old way? Sarah would have 100 tabs open, frantically digging, but now she asks Claude a single question. Instantly, it pulls data from all those different sources, synthesizes it, and flags critical details she might have missed, like a CFO selling off stock. Then it automates the heavy lifting, building financial models and charts, and finally, it even drafts a professional investment memo in her firm's exact format. And the final result? A process that would have taken Sarah 4 to 5 grueling, hair-on-fire hours is now complete in under 30 minutes. Let that sink in for a second. I mean, the contrast is just stark. It's night and day. The chaos of manual data sifting and late-night modeling gets replaced by a streamlined, unified workflow. This shift allows the analyst to stop being a data processor and become a true strategist, focusing on the insights, not just the mechanics. And Sarah's story, that isn't just about one analyst working faster. It's a perfect example of a much, much larger transformation that's happening across the entire financial industry. According to industry leaders like Deloitte, the conversation around AI has completely evolved. At first, it was all about productivity gains, but now firms are really focused on how AI can directly drive revenue and even help them create entirely new products and services. It's about fundamentally changing the business model.
And what's fascinating is where that innovation is coming from. It's not just a top-down command. As Michael from the hedge fund Deshaun notes, a lot of the time, it's the people in the trenches, the ones doing the day-to-day work, who are discovering the most powerful and creative ways to use this technology.
To really put the scale of this impact into perspective, just look at this number, 213,000. That is how many work hours the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund, the largest in the entire world, calculated that they saved in a single year by using Claude. That huge number translates into a massive 20% productivity gain across their whole organization. And again, this isn't about replacing people. It's about freeing up your most valuable experts to focus their time and their intelligence on what really matters, making better, more informed decisions.
So, where is all of this heading? It brings us to a final and really critical takeaway about the future of finance itself.
This quote from Kate Jensen lays out the choice facing the industry in really stark terms. The world is splitting in two. There will be firms that use AI across their whole organization, and there will be firms that are losing their best people to the competitors who do. Adopting AI isn't a question of if anymore, it's when and how fast. And that leads us to our final thought. What we're seeing unfold in finance, this move towards human-AI collaboration that elevates strategy over mechanics, is probably not unique. Is this the blueprint for how every data-driven industry, from medicine to media to manufacturing, is going to evolve in the age of AI? That's the question to ponder. Thanks for watching The Explainer.